So lesson number one for me was figuring out how to assign costs to the right areas. Not just the program areas, but what kind of costs was I dealing with? Was I dealing with an explicit, implicit, or an opportunity cost? And in budgeting, it's not always very clear where those should go. So I had one set of books that I sent to accounting and another set that I kept for myself so I could track these in a more meaningful way. So figuring out the explicit cost wasn't that difficult, other than I had to find out where the salaries were for certain program managers and how those fit into the programs that they were operating and whether they had a loss or a profit. Now, I'd like to back up just a little bit. Even though I'm in a government organization and a community college, we still have to show a little bit of a profit to be able to operate. We don't get any support from the state or from the college, and so we basically operate like a small business. But it really doesn't matter what kind of organization you're in, whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's a government entity, or a profitable business. The old saying is, where there is no margin, there is no mission. Even if we're operating off of grant funds, you still need to have a fiduciary relationship to the grantor to do a good job of managing that money. So rule number one was figuring out where to assign those explicit costs. And the example I ran into is I had a program manager who showed me her budget. She was showing a profit annually on average of about $30,000. That was on sales of about $100,000. So I thought that was a very reasonable amount of profit to have for a fairly small program. But what I didn't realize was that she had not included any of the costs for her salary, her benefits, or for her admin assistant's salary and benefits. So very quickly, with using an Excel spreadsheet, I just moved those numbers over to the column and went from a $30,000 profit to about an $80,000 loss with one stroke of the keyboard. What I've done with that is that's helped me with people performance management. We've had to sit down and rethink how she's using her resources, what the goals of her work plan are, and how does that play into her at least breaking even, if not making a profit at the end of the year. So now we've gone from her managing a handful of testing programs to looking at doing, basically creating an entire testing center and looking at how that could become either a break even or perhaps have a small profit and return that back to the school. So we're looking right now at how do we reformat her work plan for the year and how the two go together. Yes, break that. I got to take a drink of water.
Got it.